Well, hey everybody, welcome back to the Haven Family Farm. It was kind of a rough weekend here. Uh, got a lot done, but it came with a price. Just in case anybody's wondering before we start the video, there's a little tree house. That base I bought at the auction I showed in a previous video. So we did get started on that, but it's not done yet because it rains almost every day. So you may notice this New Holland tractor here does not look like it's on the trailer very straight. And you would be correct, it is not. We had two issues with this tractor over the weekend. It was used here on the home farm. And you may also be wondering, why is it on a trailer then? Because it broke way down in the field and I had to go get it. So anyway, so two issues with the tractor over the weekend. The first one happened to me last year. I was doing a brush hogging job for a customer, and I shut the tractor off to clean the screens off around the front. You know, it had gotten dust and whatnot, you know, plugging everything up. So when I went to turn it back on, the light was on, kept saying that the PTO was engaged, and it wasn't. So there's a PTO safety switch under here. You know, the PTO lever's right there, and down under there, there's a safety switch. So I'm like, all right. So I found stuff in the truck, and I was able to unplug the thing and just jump and bypass the switch. Started working. Okay, great. So over the winter time, I replaced it. I think maybe I did a video on it. I can't remember. So I replaced that safety switch and thought everything was good. I did some snow blowing with it, some rototilling. It was fine. So yesterday, or no, a couple days ago, anyway, over the weekend, we had this tractor on our 4-star tedder. And finished up, shut it off, to unhook the tedder, went to start it back up, boom, PTO light was on. It's like, all right. So I tried jumping that switch again, didn't do anything. So I ended up looking in the manual, and there's actually two PTO safety switches in the wiring diagram, but it does not show you where the second one is. So all I can figure is both times that it acted up, the tractor had been worked hard. The other times I had used it, you know, doing snow blowing in the winter time and doing some rototilling, it really didn't get worked very hard. So, you know, running that tedder, worked the tractor, got it hot. So it has something to do with that, and maybe that other switch. I don't know. So whatever, got to figure that out. But the other issue is, which is a much bigger issue. Oh, seat's wet. I will show you what the issue is here. Hang on, got to be in neutral to start. Cobwebs all over everything. So let's let the globe plug run here a second. Boom. So the reason the tractor is so crooked on the trailer is this. Do you see the tires turning? Yeah, they're not. It's broken. So something happened to the steering with this over the weekend. I called a mechanic friend of mine, and he told me to try doing a couple different things, lifting the using the loader to lift the front axle off the ground and doing all kinds of stuff. But basically, he's thinking that one of the cylinders inside, you know, blew out, because if you lift the front axle off the ground, you can very easily turn these wheels by hand. You know, everything's hydraulically driven. The steering, you know, there's no shaft that goes down, it's all pumps, and there's absolutely no resistance on anything. Excuse me. So he's thinking that it's not a bad pump, but maybe there's two excuse me, there are two steering cylinders on this tractor, one on each side. So one of them may have blown out. So I've got to get this tractor straightened out a little bit on the trailer, and then I'm taking it down. I'm just going to let him deal with it. I don't have time to deal with it right now. He can sort out all the issues. I don't repack cylinders anyway. All I would do would take the cylinder off and take it somewhere, and I could do that, but that PTO thing needs to be fixed, and I just don't have time to tear the tractor apart to find it. So whatever. So let's go look at some other stuff I broke. All right, so now we have the skid steer mounted rototiller. I was rototilling a couple acres and didn't quite finish. Started spewing hydraulic oil everywhere. And right here, I believe you can see, there you go, that little guy right there. That is part of an O-ring that has busted. So it started spewing oil all down the front of the skid steer, made a big old mess. So at least that's a simple fix. You just got to take that apart and get whatever we need there and fix that. So anyway, I wasn't able to finish rototilling, but at least it's an easy fix. Okay, on the New Holland 570 baler. In my defense, this is not completely my fault. The thrower got smushed a bit when the building collapsed over the winter time, but you can see the belt now has started to separate here and come apart. I don't know if you can tell here, probably not on this camera here, but the top and bottom throwers still aren't lined up. This had actually been jammed over into here over the winter time, and I kind of did a farmer fix on it and just I bent these tabs a little bit here just to get it to work for the hay I had to do. I have a used thrower that is actually newer than this one that I'm going to just swap out the whole thrower. It was going to get awful expensive trying to change a bunch of parts. It was easier just to buy a thrower, and there's still a lot of good parts on this one. So I'll have kind of some spare parts laying around, but it made it through. But towards the end of baling, it really started making a lot of noise, whining, and something is definitely tweaked and bent on it. But so yeah, we got to replace the thrower. All right, and the last thing I broke over the weekend was this disc. If you look right here, well, you can see a little rust now because it rained, but this bolt is supposed to be attached down in there. There's a nut, and that broke. So what happens is when you go to actually get my finger out of the way, stupid phone. So when you go to lift the disc up, I have it tilted down in the front, so the front's fairly aggressive. And so when you go to pick it up in the front, normally it would pick up and be sitting kind of sideways like this. This would be the front of the, where it hooks to the tractor. So what happens now, since that's not connected, you pick it up all the way and it flops backwards, and the back gang of discs kind of ride on the ground. So again, fairly easy fix. I'm just going to wrap a chain around there to hold it, take it up the garage, clean it up, and hopefully I'll be able to weld it. I don't really plan on adjusting it anymore. I'm just going to leave it where it is. So I'm not worried about trying to get the bolt and everything, all that nonsense out of there. I'm just going to get it back down together and weld all the way around it a bunch, and it'll be good enough for me. I do not do a lot of tillage work. Basically, we do mostly hay, so the tillage acres that we do are just for pumpkins, sweet corn, stuff like that. So, we don't do a ton of acreage, so that'll be fine. So, and the other fun thing that didn't really break, but happened to me, you see some round bales down there that do not have net wrap on them. I had a friend of mine come and bale those. He actually bought the bales in that field. I baled a little bit of it into small squares, and then he took the rest. He came over and baled the rest of that up. He's buying those. But the weather people, boy, I hate to pick on them, but it really gets frustrating sometimes. We were supposed to have 3 nice days in a row. The only 3 nice warm days that we've had since, it's June now, so like way back sometime, I don't know, 6 weeks ago or something, we had a couple nice days. Of course, the hay wasn't ready then. So I saw 3 nice days, everything's soaking wet when I mowed, and I needed 3 full days to dry that field. It was so thick and heavy, and I didn't get it. Into the beginning of the second drying day, they put rain in the forecast for the 3rd day. And it did get baled up without it being rained on. They did get rained on last night, but he wasn't concerned. He's got beefers. So that he did get them baled up before you know, the hay got rained on, and I got my hay put away. But it just, I needed the 3 full days to dry that hay down, and I did some moisture tests, and it was 36% in a lot of places, and my preservative just will not do 36%. So he's going to feed him out. He's not concerned about it. So I'm not charging him much. I did, you know, mow, Ted, and rake the hay, but he drove all the way over here and baled it. So I'm just getting a little bit back. That way I'll have some money just for fuel, and, you know, he helped me out, and I'm not going to charge full price for those. So we discussed that already. So, but at least I'm getting a little something for my fuel for it, and the hay's off the field, and those were the things that were important. He can use it, and I didn't want it to go to waste and get rained on and end up being mulch hay. And I don't know when I would have baled it anyway, because the next 5 days in the forecast have a chance of rain. So that hay would have gotten so disgusting on there, and I couldn't leave it. It was so thick that, you know, I don't know, it would have just started killing a lot of the hay underneath. So anyway, that was enough negativity for this video. So leave in the comments section down below in the last week or so, what have you guys broke? Maybe it'll make me feel better. So thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Questions, comments down below. Please don't forget to subscribe, the thumbs up, and the bell icon on your way out the door. And I'm hoping this summer gets better. So if you're having a rough summer, I hope it gets better for you too. So yep, hope to see you guys on the next video.